Is Face the State with Dennis House, Connecticut's most watched local political program.
Good morning. We begin with the latest on guns and the budget, the two big items at the state capitol these days. The governor was on Face the State 2 weeks ago, outlining his plans for spending and cutting, and the debate over what he wants to do continues today. And with us today, State Representatives Kim Fawcett, Democrat of Fairfield, and Jason Perillo, Republican of Shelton. And Representatives, thank you for being on the program today.
Thanks, Dennis.
And is that pretty much everything's what everyone's talking about, guns in the budget these days, Representative Fawcett?
Guns in the budget, that's the focus.
What did you think of the governor's plan that he announced?
I think it's really interesting that he is bold enough to put forward new ideas, to really challenge the conversation. So it's a process, and the first step of the process is for the budget to come from the governor. And what he gave us has a lot of things I've never seen before. So now the process moves forward, and the legislature has to look at it. And this is where we drill down, and we have hearings, and we discuss the ideas in his budget. So I'm excited to have those conversations and see if anything that he's presented is going to work this year.
And what's the buzz among Republicans, Representative Perillo, in terms of the governor's
Dennis, I would challenge that what the governor put forth is neither new nor bold. In fact, a lot of people, quite frankly, can't understand it. I challenge you to find anybody who actually really likes it. It's a lot of the same old gimmicks that we've always seen. It's a lot of putting towards tomorrow the problems that we really should be taking care of today. And I think most people are seeing through that. Find me a mayor or a first selectman who likes the budget. Good luck.
But that's exactly my point, because they don't like it, because for the first time ever that I've been there, I'm on my 7th year, this is the first budget where a governor said, let's eliminate the property tax on cars. Let's completely eliminate it. Of course, our first selectmen and our municipal leaders don't like it. It's a huge revenue change for them. Well, it's something pretty controversial.
And it's actually not the first time it's ever been put forth. Governor Rell put this forth a number of years ago. The difference being that when Governor Rell put it forth, she actually found a way to make the towns whole. She actually found a way to replace that $500 million in local property tax revenue that mayors and first selectmen are now trying to figure out how they're going to do.
And you have to weigh both sides here, because I imagine your constituents are thrilled that this tax may go away, but as you mentioned, the town leaders may be against it.
Well, most constituents actually kind of understand that while they may not be paying taxes on their car, they're paying taxes on their property, and that's just simply going to go up. So at the end of the day, the municipal budget is the municipal budget, just whether it comes out of your right pocket or your left pocket. But at the end of the day, residents are going to pay for it.
I haven't really heard from constituents yet, because I think the initial reaction is coming from town leaders, and it'll be interesting over the next several months as we're talk about it more and people realize, wow, I'm really not going to have to pay a tax on my vehicle anymore, to hear from residents what they think about it.
Let's go back to the gun issue for just a moment. What are some of your constituents saying to you about it? Are they calling your office about it?
About
strengthening gun laws in the state.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm really proud that in Fairfield we had 2 amazing moms who organized the March for Change that occurred last week. 2 Fairfield moms were sort of the spark of the idea behind that. So it is a big movement in my town, and more and more, really every day, I'm hearing from people just asking for the state to take action, to do something that is concrete and real and tangible and can make a difference.
And there's a belief in that the Naugatuck Valley may be against this more than other parts of the state?
Probably just like every other part of the state, you hear passionate arguments on both sides. People feel very, very strongly about their position, regardless of what it would be. I was a little disappointed that the governor moved ahead with his own plan without having heard the legislative thought process, or quite frankly, not even having heard his own task force final recommendations. And I don't think it's coincidental that the governor's plan came forth on the same day that Vice President Biden's in the state of Connecticut. So this is something that is extraordinarily complex.
At the end of the day, will the legislature make a move to make schools safer? What about school security?
Sure. I mean, the package is going to, I think, include 3 sections, right? There's the school security issue, there's the gun safety issue, and then there's the mental health care issue. And we're certainly going to see, I think, the legislature address all 3 of those issue areas. But It's interesting because I think right now we're at a little stuck in the legislative process. And while there is this task force, and there's a really a true effort to see Republicans and Democrats come together in a bipartisan manner, that process is stalled. And there's a lot of us that are frustrated and don't want to see the clock run out on the legislative calendar, which we have until June, but we don't want to see the clock run out. We want to see us take action. And I'm really pleased that the governor came out of the gate, gave us a working document and some concrete ideas to work from, because maybe the legislative process is slowing us down a little bit.
I think that's what the legislative process is designed to do. It's designed to make sure that what we do is thoughtful. Just 1 month ago, the governor criticized the governor of New York for acting too quickly on this issue. And here we are 1 month later, and the governor is acting without the advice of his task force, without the advice of the legislative task force. And these are complex issues. No solution is very easy.
That's not actually true, though, because we've been thoughtful for 8 weeks, 9 weeks now, and we've had hours and hours of hearings and meetings, and there have been people who are dedicating 100 hours a week to just researching and putting together concrete ideas for change. Many other states acted, maybe some criticized too quickly. New York, for example, a lot of people said they acted too quickly. I think 8 weeks, 10 weeks, we've been thoughtful, we've been thorough, and we're ready to take action.
I'll let you have the final word, Representative Perillo. Is there anything Republicans can do to prevent the governor from doing what he wants to do? Because it is a Democratic-controlled legislature.
Well, I think what we've seen, even from House Democrats, is a little bit of disappointment in the fact that the governor moved and the speed with which he did move. There's definitely an interest on both sides of the aisle in doing this in a bipartisan way. We've felt it. I'm sure the Democrats have felt it as well. And I do believe that there's a place at the table for both parties in this. And we want something that can be a consensus builder. And I don't think what we've seen so far is that.
State Representatives Jason Perillo from Shelton and Kim Fawcett from Fairfield, we thank you for being on the program today.
Thanks, Dennis.